Steve,
Hi there, how are you today?
good. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. I mean, this interview is way overdue. You have been doing some inspiring things, especially for the city of Inglewood, and you have put Inglewood on the map. So I was excited to sit down with him and hear about how you got started.
Amazing. I'm so glad to be here today. Glad to sit down and just have a good time, come out here on a Sunday
Yes.
and talk about the brand.
Exactly. So let's get right into it. Okay, so Steve, you are a California native, Inglewood, California to be specific. So, what was life like growing up for Steve before you created this brand? Because you originally started off in hospitality, which I read in your bio. Was entrepreneur and leadership something that you always felt, or was it something that kind of came about in your later years?
Gotcha. Life growing up in Inglewood was amazing. My father was a physician. He worked at Centinela Hospital. And my mom was a school teacher. She taught kindergarten in the city of Inglewood.
Nice.
So super awesome. Life growing up in Inglewood was amazing. I went to Frank D. Parent Elementary. And yes, entrepreneurship was something I wanted to get into when I was younger.
Really?
Yes, I went to Hampton University. I studied business administration. And when I got done at Hampton University, I decided to start my own clothing brand.
Nice. So what would you say got you into entrepreneurship, or what would you say were the signs along the way to kind of show that? Because I was saying in a prior episode how as a child, it's certain things or people that we're attracted to that kind of shows us glimpse of our purpose or what our adult life will look like. So was that kind of the same case for you, or like what would you say kind of sparked that interest to actually know you want to be a leader?
Well, when I started out, I always didn't want to be an entrepreneur. First, I went to school and I worked for Marriott for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
I was in the hospitality industry. Love hospitality. I want to own a hotel one day.
Nice.
So I thought that starting my own brand would help me bring up the funds so that I can own a hotel one day.
Yeah.
I want to purchase my own hotel. That's my ultimate goal.
Nice.
So
that's a big goal because some people are doing houses or apartment buildings. You're like, I want to own a hotel. Like, I love that.
I tell people life is like Monopoly. You got to get the 3 green houses before you get the hotel. You can't just go in the game and grab a hotel.
Yeah.
You got to work your way up to a hotel.
Exactly.
So I learned a lot working for Marriott for 13 years. And that experience with Marriott has helped me with my brand right now.
Wow. Yeah. And that's smart because it's like you knew that's what you wanted to do, but you were actually gaining that knowledge about working underneath somebody else. And I feel like that's also inspiring because a lot of people want to jump straight into, I want to own this, I want to be in entrepreneurship, not realizing that even working underneath somebody, you're actually developing those tools to own your own business someday. So that was actually a really smart move.
That's a great point. I tell entrepreneurs all the time that you need something to fuel your business. A lot of the time, you don't have the money to go out and start a brand.
Or the knowledge.
The knowledge, the experience.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing, so it's good that you can start somewhere.
Yeah, that's very smart. Okay. So during your years working at the Marriott, I also read in your bio that you were in a bad car accident. I'm so happy that you're still here today.
Yes.
And that was initially what sparked the idea to create your own brand. So tell us about that.
2000 and what was that? 2003, I was in a car accident. And then when I first moved back home, I was in a car accident. When I finished Hampton University, I moved back home in about 2016. And I was in a terrible car accident. I was rear-ended.
Wow.
I was unable to work. I was on disability.
Really?
And when you're unable to work and you're sitting in the house all day, it takes a toll on you. You get depressed. Sitting in the house all day, you're not able to work, you'll get depressed. It takes a toll on your mind.
Exactly.
So during this time, Nipsey Hussle has started his Crenshaw brand. Nipsey was super popping.
Yeah.
The Crenshaw brand down on Slauson and Crenshaw. And I noticed how the buzz, and he was just repping his city. So while I was out on disability, I said, hey, Inglewood is up and coming right now. Inglewood needs somebody to rep their city just like Nipsey is doing.
Exactly. And Inglewood's a big city.
Huge city.
Yes.
Huge city. So it was perfect timing. I was sitting at the house, a friend of mine, he's a graphic designer. We got the logo together. We started running the logo and we went out to Coachella. We went to Coachella 2 weekends. It was Beyonce one weekend and Gucci Mane the next weekend. We went both weekends and we gave away nothing but free merch.
I'm like, what weekend was this? I missed it. No, I'm just kidding.
This is back 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
Coachella. I went to Coachella one year. I'll never go back again.
Oh, wow.
It's just, oh man, it was a great time then, but it's just not my crowd. You ever been to Coachella?
I've never been.
You never been to Coachella?
I have not.
I say you do it once. You need to say you've been to Coachella.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a dust bowl out there. It's on the campgrounds. It's on the polo grounds. So it's
Really?
nothing but horses out there.
And it's hot.
It's hot, it's dusty, and people sleep in there for days and weeks and they don't shower.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a mess.
That'd be a little rough for me.
It's a lot of partying out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So during that time, you had a lot of time to think, and that's when you decided, okay, I'm going to put Inglewood on the map.
I'm going to put Inglewood on the map. I'm going to do this like nobody has ever done it before.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like God chose me. God knew that no one was going to rep this city like me.
Yeah.
God gave me this brand. I never wanted a clothing brand. My dream was always to own hotels.
Wow.
Hospitality, hotels, and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my other friends were into fashion and design. That was never my lane.
Wow.
But while I was out on disability, I had a calling from God. God wanted me to do this brand. He had to pick somebody to do this brand.
And be used as a vessel. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I put aside all the things that I wanted and I started listening to God and what he wanted, that's when things started taking off. I started the brand. We went out to Coachella. There's a music group called Gold Link from Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah.
We gave them some free gear in the parking lot. They took our gear and they wore it on stage for their concert.
Really?
So people got the visibility. It was a buzz out there. And a lot of people ask me, how did I get started? The funds. How did you start your business? I tell everybody the same story. I got an American Express credit card for $10,000. I maxed it out.
Really?
Maxed out a $10,000 credit card. That's how I started my brand. I didn't have the funds.
Yeah.
I didn't have investors or anything like that. But
so you got a business card?
Yes. Business credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And very important, you need to understand the terms and conditions on these business credit cards.
Yeah.
This was my first business credit card.
Exactly.
American Express has a policy where you're supposed to pay the whole thing off in full every month. You can't roll over any balances.
Really?
So make sure you pay attention to the terms in your credit card.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't realize that. I maxed out that credit card and
you spent the whole $10,000.
Oh, I maxed that thing out real quick.
$10,000.
Maxed it out real quick, all 10,000, and they wanted the whole 10,000 the next month, so I didn't have it. I was penalized and I was fined, and it was a great lesson for me. It was a great lesson for me at young to learn. You got to understand the terms and conditions. Not all credit card balances roll over to the next month. So it was a great lesson. I ended up settling the account with American Express and got that cleared up. But yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Definitely. So you maxed out the entire 10,000.
The whole 10 G's. We got the Amex. We maxed out the whole 10 G's. And we went to Coachella and we gave away the gear. We weren't out there selling out the trunk.
Yeah.
We gave away almost about $8,000 to $10,000 worth of merch. I believe that if you have a good product and you give it away to somebody, they're going to come back to you for more.
Good. That's good.
If your product is fire, they're going to come back for more.
That's good.
I wasn't out there trying to sell hats and sell t-shirts. Here, take this, take
trying to make a quick dollar. You're like, just let me show you what I can do and what I represent.
No, I'm going to give this to you. You're going to like it so much, you're going to come looking for more.
So it was like a sample you gave out.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And I want to give you another example of that. There's a gentleman named Simba Sims, photographer.
Yes.
And that's how we met.
Yes.
Deja was one of our first models. One of the first models ever for the Inglewood brand.
Shout out to Simba.
Shout out to Simba, man. Simba Sims taught me this lesson. He was at the Taste of Inglewood. Didn't know me. He was shooting a bunch of content, Inglewood content for our brand.
Yeah.
And his pictures were so fire. He gave them to me for free. He gave me the pictures for free. And I said, oh my God, this is so fire. I need more content like this.
And what happened? You came back for more.
I hired him. I came back for more. I learned the lesson. You don't want to go out and push yourself on people and sell it to them. Give people your product. Give people your product for free. And if it's a good product, they'll going to come back for more.
That's a smart move.
And they're going to tell people about it.
That's a smart
Word
move.
of mouth.
Yeah.
So that's a great lesson that I learned from a photographer and good friend of ours. And that's how we met with Simba Sims.
Yeah, Simba Sims. That's a very smart move because I feel like sometimes people could be looking for a quick dollar, not knowing if you give people a taste of what they may be buying for free, like you said, they'll come back for more because they feel like they got something from you, but also it'll make them want to buy from you too, especially if they like it.
It works every time.
It works every time. So
your product has to be fire though. If your product's no good, they're not coming back.
Exactly.
That's what I want you to know. Your product must be fire. If your product is fire, you give it to somebody for free, they're going to come back looking for more.
Every time,
Mhm.
every time. And that's what business, that's what anything. Let me
Sure.
show you what I can do. And
You're
then
right.
people can come back. That's amazing. So let me touch base really quick on the business credit part, because a lot of people are struggling with how to build business credit, don't know how to build business credit, and also with their own personal credit. So as far as when you got approved for your first business credit card, would you say you had to make sure your own personal credit card was in line, or how did that process work initially?
My business credit was set up completely separately.
Mm-hmm.
Go get your EIN number.
Yeah.
Go get your EIN number, set it up. I would make it separate because you want to use your business credit and your personal credit for two different things.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use your personal credit to leverage your business credit and get higher loans.
Yeah.
But me, I started out, I wanted to do it completely separate.
Mm-hmm.
So since I started a brand new EIN, I was in good standing.
Nice.
Amex approved me for $10,000.
Amazing.
Now I told you guys I maxed that credit card out, so it did mess up my business credit card when I did not pay that off immediately. So my credit was pretty much down for 10 to 12 months. It's very important for people to understand when you mess up your credit, you can't just fix it the next day. It takes months to repair your credit.
Yeah.
So it's very important that you stay on top of it and you don't let your credit go down.
Right. Make sure that you got your personal credit in line, but also just kind of keep track of what you're spending over time so that it doesn't catch up to you when it's too late.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you also mentioned that Nipsey was one of your big influences. Why is that?
Wow. Nipsey Hussle was such a big influence to me because he started his brand, the Crenshaw brand, and I started an Inglewood brand. Nipsey started a brand for his city, which was Crenshaw. He wanted to rep his city, Crenshaw and Slauson.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I learned so much from him. A lot of people, when they start clothing brands, they don't last long. This brand is tied to this or tied to that.
Right.
Crenshaw's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
That's what I noticed about Nipsey's brand. Inglewood's not going anywhere.
Right.
My brand is going to go on forever and ever and ever.
Decades after you even leave this place.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I learned so much from Nipsey. Nipsey's on Slauson and I'm in Inglewood, so a lot of people think we're in competition with one another. There's no competition. I learned so much from him and his business ethics and business skills.
Right.
Nipsey was fearless. Whether he was going out and rapping with his brother or whether he was selling CDs out of his trunk or selling t-shirts, he was fearless. But the best thing I liked about him is he wanted to rep his city. Everywhere he went, he wanted people to know Crenshaw.
Right, he did.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm repping my city. It's not work to me. I'm just putting Inglewood on the map.
Exactly.
And so much going on in Inglewood right now.
Yeah.
So much buzz. The Olympics will be here in 4 years.
Really?
2028, LA 28. The Olympics will be here in Inglewood. Next week, we're super excited because we have the Intuit Dome opening. The Intuit Dome is the Clippers' new arena.
I was not aware of that.
Oh my gosh, they have a heavy lineup. We have Bruno Mars coming the first week.
Oh, wow. You're like, I know everything about Inglewood. Let me tell you.
Bruno Mars the first week and then Usher the second week. So we got a great lineup. Football season's getting ready to start in Inglewood. It's really booming. So Nipsey was a great inspiration for me.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, Inglewood has grown a lot.
Neighborhood knit.
Yeah. Shout out to Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace. Okay, so my next question is, which I would say you actually already briefly answered it. What was the initial start process like, as well as what was your start off samples? Because the first time starting anything, as well as presenting it to strangers, can be intimidating. So you told us what that was like for you, as well as what would you say kind of kept you motivated? So you would say they were buying into the whole Inglewood because you weren't trying to get people to purchase it. You were actually giving it out. So they loved it when you initially gave it to them. So how did you approach that situation? I guess for those out there who don't know who to give it to or actually where to start, even if they are giving something away for free. Because it could be intimidating talking to celebrities.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So when we started the brand, we did start giving away free merch to get started.
Right.
So you just don't want to give free merch to anybody because if you give it to the wrong person, it might not be your target market.
Exactly.
So you do want to narrow down your target market and look at your audience first.
Yeah.
And our audience has been streetwear, souvenir brand. People that want to say they went to Inglewood, California, they got a t-shirt and hey, we went to the wood. They see it on TV all the time.
Exactly.
They see it in all the movies all the time.
Yeah.
They want something to say they went to Inglewood, California. So notice your target market, notice your audience, give them something for free, and then they'll come back and they will support you. They will patronize you.
So you would say you got to be strategic. Yeah, it's good to give away free stuff, but you can't give it away to anybody.
No.
Yeah.
If you're giving it away to the wrong people, you're wasting inventory. And inventory is very valuable.
That's key. And it costs.
Very valuable. And it costs.
And it costs money. So know your target audience, do your research, and see who's going to actually post and support that rather than just have it sitting on the shelf and it's just a waste of time and money. So that's a good one.
Let me tell you something. Our target audience, let me tell you who our target, after research, we actually did research and statistics on this. Our target audience was high school students. Inglewood High School was right around the street from the barbershop on La Brea Regent. And when the kids got out of high school every day, they would come by the barbershop and they loved getting hats and t-shirts and things that said Inglewood. So we kind of targeted Inglewood High School and Morningside High School, which are the two major high schools in Inglewood.
Nice.
That's why a lot of our brands, we do green for Inglewood High and we do red for Morningside High.
Got it.
So that was our original target audience. Target the high schools. And they started wearing it all day and it just kind of spread from there.
It kind of just grown from there. Wow, that is amazing. So what would you say kept you motivated, Steve? Because again, it's easy to get discouraged if you see that, you're putting all this money into something and you're not getting a return yet. That takes some thick skin, because I feel like a lot of people go into something and they just want a quick return. I want to make money from it. If they don't see money from it, they're like, maybe it's just not for me. So what would you say kind of kept you inspired and kept you going, even if you didn't see the return initially at the beginning?
That's a great question. The thing that kept me motivated is my mission to my brand. My mission is Inglewood City of Champions.
Yeah, I like that.
Inglewood has a whole background of champions, starting with Magic Johnson, going back to Kobe Bryant playing at the Forum, all these great legends. My goal is to be a champion one day. I want to spread my brand. When you put on my clothes, I want you to feel like a champion. That's what's kept me motivated.
Amazing.
Looking at the people that came before me, like Magic Johnson, Byron Scott, Kobe Bryant, these guys represent the City of Champions, and that kept me motivated. I want to be a champion.
Yeah.
I want people to feel like a champion when they put on our clothes.
Right.
So I just couldn't quit. I had to keep going.
Amazing.
It's very tough being an entrepreneur, but you just got to embrace it.
Exactly.
Just keep going, keep pushing.
And again, and that goes into knowing your why. Because if you don't have a why, you're not going to want to keep doing anything. So
what makes you want to get out of bed every day?
That's what I always say.
Every day. What makes you get out of bed?
That's what I always say.
It pops in my head every day. Inglewood is my why.
We just had that conversation. What keeps you inspired every day? You can't just wait for something physical, whether that's kids, marriage, anything, to actually happen before you start that process. But if you're thinking about the future or other people, or just making people feel like the highest, most divine version of themselves, which is also a part of why I created It Factor, to make people feel like the highest version of themselves, So once you start thinking about giving back and you want everybody to feel like a champion, it keeps you going, because you realize we're not just living for ourselves,
Great point right there.
Yeah.
Something that I want to touch on is it's not about you. The brand is not about me.
Exactly.
The brand is about Inglewood.
Yeah.
And when I first started my social media, I had on my social media, great tip for you guys when you're starting your social media, I had owner of Inglewood brand, Stephen Cotton. When I took that out, I took the name out. Nobody cares about the owner. People care about the brand.
I noticed that.
So that's a great tip. When I removed owner Stephen Cotton and it was just about Inglewood and the brand, more support, more followers.
Right.
People may not want to support Stephen Cotton,
right?
but they want to support Inglewood. So take yourself out of it. Make it about your brand. That is a wonderful tip for you right there.
Yeah.
Because when I made it about the brand, all the blessings started coming. People don't care about Steve Cotton. Remove yourself. Don't let your feelings and emotion be involved. Make it about your brand. It's all about Inglewood when I wake up every day. Inglewood, Inglewood, Inglewood.
Exactly, exactly. And again, because you get caught up in that title, right? Oh, I'm the owner, I'm the CEO. I totally agree. My name is nowhere near the brand.
Remove
people know, if they know, they know. But it's like, I'm not creator of It Factor or creator, like you said, of Inglewood brand. It's just like, it's about you guys. So you buy into that. So I agree. That's
the brand is bigger than you.
Exactly.
It's bigger than you.
That's amazing. Okay, so as we kind of wrap this up, you already touched base actually on my next question, which is, what does the Inglewood City of Champions stand for? And what would you say separates you from other cities as well as other clothing brands? So you would say, because you want to be a champion. People feel like a champion when they wear your attire. I noticed that the material is very soft. I actually, Steve actually gifted me with a couple of the shirts, and I have the sweatshirts, and I was like, okay, this actually feels really, really good. So would you say that that's what separates you guys from other brands out there?
So there's lots of things that separate us from the brands. But first thing is we have our souvenir brand. The Inglewood brand is our souvenir brand.
Okay.
Coming into the future, coming into September, we have our high-end brand coming. We just got a new trademark.
Okay.
And it's September football season, Labor Day weekend, we'll be dropping our high-end brand. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
We just got a new trademark for the wood. So you guys are familiar with the Wood, the movie.
Yeah.
We have a trademark for the wood pertaining to clothing. So that's going to be our high-end brand. We have our streetwear brand where people can come get their streetwear. Now we want to do some high-end stuff for the wood. You'd be surprised on how many woods there are out there. There's an Inglewood in Chicago with the E. There's an Inglewood in Australia.
Really?
There is Beverly Wood, Hollywood, Kentwood. So lots of people will be able to relate to the wood. It doesn't have to just be Inglewood. The wood is worldwide.
Right.
So that's going to be our new brand. It's going to be the wood. It's going to be real high-end, real elegant. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make people feel like a champion.
Okay, so you also mentioned that you have a brick and mortar location. And for those who are not familiar with the brick and mortar, that means you have a storefront. So, which is in Inglewood, California. And you grew up buying books and also meeting legends like Ali, Magic Johnson. When did you realize that this would be the perfect location and time to open your shop? And how did you bring the dream into fruition, considering the fact that a lot of business is online now?
Yes, we got our brick and mortar store, the Inglewood clothing store, 6 years ago. So we've been on our storefront for 6 years. And we didn't just go right to a storefront, you guys. We started out online. You got to start somewhere. You don't just jump into a storefront because you realize the overhead on a storefront is crazy.
Right.
So you got to start somewhere. Online is a great place to start.
Yeah.
Now at this point, I make just as much online as I do in my storefront.
Nice.
So you got to start somewhere. We started selling out of the barbershop on La Brea and Regent. And then after a few years, we moved into a brick and mortar on La Brea and Centinela. We're located right next to Ralph's at 900 North La Brea. And this location is a historic location in the city of Inglewood because this is where Zara's bookstore is. Zara's bookstore has been there for over 20 plus years.
Nice.
I remember that place growing up as a kid. I told you I met Muhammad Ali there. I met Magic Johnson there, Byron Scott. People would go to the bookstore every week and do book signings. So as a reward, my mom, whenever I got good grades or things like that, she'd take me to Zara's bookstore. We'd get a book and I get to meet whoever was there for the week.
Yeah.
So I have lots of memories and it's just a landmark in the community, Zara's bookstore. It's right in the heart of Inglewood, downtown Inglewood.
Yeah.
So during COVID and before COVID, I was presented with an opportunity to take over the bookstore. She was kind of fizzling out. Her daughter went to Hampton University with me.
Yeah.
And she was ready to do something different.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to just give this bookstore to anybody. So she gave me an opportunity to take over.
Amazing.
And we took over the bookstore and things have been going excellent.
Ever since.
Excellent. The Rams won the Super Bowl a few years ago. And when the Rams won the Super Bowl, we did an Inglewood mural on the side of our building. So whenever people go to the stadium, whenever people pass by, they see a big Inglewood mural with Kobe Bryant and D Smoke on there. People are stopping to take pictures all the time. And that's how I get them.
Yeah.
When they stop to take a picture, they come inside the store to get souvenirs.
Amazing.
So
perfect location. Yeah.
Perfect
strategic.
Location. We're about a mile away from SoFi Stadium.
Oh, wow.
And the Kia Forum, the Intuit Dome. We're right in downtown Inglewood.
That's amazing.
Perfect location.
That is perfect, Steve. Amazing. Well, congratulations for opening that storefront.
Thank you.
Yes, and I'm excited to see it just continue to grow. That's great.
Appreciate it.
So, what would you say the 3 most important tips are for new business owners or business owners in general? The top 3.
Top 3 most important tips is you got to have a plan. It's so important to have a business plan.
Yeah.
Business plan is if you don't have a business plan, how do you expect to get someone to invest into your idea?
That's true.
So important to put your plan and take your plan and put it on paper.
Yeah.
That is my number one tip. You got to have a plan.
Right.
You can't just be out here trying this, trying that, trying this. Have a plan, stick to your plan. When things aren't going right, go back to your business plan and say, am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? So the first thing is to have a plan. The second thing is one of my most important is to embrace failure. You have to learn to embrace failure.
That's a good one.
If you're going to go out here, you need to embrace failure. I think I'm getting ready to do a t-shirt and I'm just going to put embrace failure on there.
That's a good one.
People are scared to fail.
Because you learn from it.
You learn so much from failure.
Yeah.
If you are 16 years old and you go take your driver's test and you fail that test, you don't be scared to go take it again. You go take that test 30, 50 times until you pass your driver's test.
Exactly.
Whatever it is that you do, you can't be afraid to fail. So you have to embrace failure.
Right.
And everything that comes with it.
Mm-hmm. That's good. And number 3?
Number 3, the last business tip I have for you is your circle. The circle, the people that you have around you.
That's a good one, because that's part of your mindset. Who's feeding? It's all synergy. You know what I mean?
It's
like
all
birds
synergy.
of a feather
Your
flock
circle.
together.
Get you a good mentor.
Yeah.
Get you somebody that has done it before. I have 2 mentors. I have Jocelyn, who went to Hampton University. She's the owner of The Right Fit in San Diego. She started a clothing brand. And then I have Gavin, who's the owner of Supervision here in Los Angeles.
Wow.
So me seeing both of them and watching them go through different things, they can point me in the right direction and tell me what not to do. So it's not about doing, it's about what not to do, because you want to prevent the losses.
Exactly. And if you can, by learning from someone else, why not prevent that from
Somebody
happening?
that's done it before you.
Exactly.
I go online, I look at Nipsey Hussle's website every week. I take notes from Nipsey Hussle's website.
Wow.
I look at Polo. I look at Polo brand. I like to see what these brands are doing. I don't want to recreate the wheel. I want to take little things from them and implement it into my brand.
Exactly. That's
So
very
that's a great
smart.
thing for you guys. Look at other brands around you. Look at other businesses around you and see how you can implement. It's not copying. It's not stealing. You're just taking an
Everybody's
idea,
taking something from someone else and just learning from
implement
it.
it.
You know,
And
making
tweak-
it your own.
tweak it a little bit, make it your own.
Exactly.
I love it.
That's smart, Steve. Okay. So as we kind of wrap this up, we're going to get a little personal. Are you in a relationship? If so, how do you handle the stress that comes with? If so, how would you say you handle the responsibility of wearing different hats? And if you're not, what would you say the top 3 traits are that would make a healthy relationship as far as a business mind and a businessman is concerned?
That's awesome. Top 3 traits. I'm a single man. Steve is single right now. I'm 39 years old. I'm getting ready to be 40 in January. I'm single. I have no kids. And I'm looking forward to 40. I'm so excited for 40. 30s were great, but 40 is going to be amazing.
Yes.
But the top 3 traits that I look for in a woman is, the first one is confidence. Love your confidence.
Oh, thank you.
You got to
Steve.
have confidence. You
Yeah.
got to be able to present yourself. You got to be able to sell yourself.
Yeah.
Confidence is number 1.
Yes.
And I listen to Bishop T.D. Jakes a lot.
Yeah.
And he always says that eagles fly with eagles.
That's true.
So I want a woman that has confidence, and she's got to feel like an eagle. She's got to be able to fly with me. A woman with confidence. It's very important.
Yes. So confidence. What's number 2?
Number 2 is fitness.
She got to be in shape.
Gotta be in shape.
She got to have some body, huh?
Gotta be fit. I'm in the gym 7 days a week.
Yes.
7 days a week. It's like I have to eat every day. I got to sleep every day. I got to go to the gym every day.
Well, you may have to take a day off, Steve, but
7 days a week. A day off for me is going to the gym and sitting in the steam room.
okay.
But I'm getting there every
But
day.
you're still doing something
7
physical.
days a week. I got to get there.
Got it.
So when a girl is not working out, man, it ain't gonna work. If I got to drag you to the gym with me,
Oh, no.
it ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So first is confidence. Second is fitness. You got to work out. And the third is accountability.
Take responsibility for whatever it is
Accountability.
you need to.
In a relationship, you got to be able to hold each other accountable. We're not setting goals for me and then setting goals for you. We're setting goals together and holding each other accountable.
Got it.
Accountability is huge for me.
That's a big
So
one.
those are the 3 from me. You got to be confident,
Fit and accountable.
and accountable.
Got
That's it right there.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so my last question is, well, my second to last. What has been your favorite moment in your career so far, as well as what is your definition of success?
Awesome.
And you can keep it brief because I know we
Yeah.
press for time, but I got to get these in for the viewers. I got to.
Favorite moment in my career was 2 years ago. I received the community award for the Juanita Portlock Community Award. I was nominated by some people in the community. I wrote an application. I applied for the award. And it was just amazing to see the community come out and celebrate all the accomplishments and just seeing where we came for. It's been tough. It's been a long road. We had COVID. We survived COVID.
Yeah.
If your business survived COVID, you're winning right now.
Oh, yeah.
You're winning. We made it through COVID. We made it through all the hurdles. And then to see all the community come together and just really be glad that we have some place to rep our city, Inglewood, is amazing.
Mhm.
So that's been one of the brightest spots in my career where I received the award, the community award.
Mhm.
And it's great because now I am giving back and giving that award to other people. The Juanita Portlock Community Award.
Amazing.
It's getting ready to come up next month.
Congratulations.
So we're giving away 2 scholarships to people in hospitality and fashion. So we're giving back and we're keeping the scholarship going.
And keeping it going, giving back of what's been given to you.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. So what's your definition of success?
My definition of success is longevity. Having longevity, just being in it for the long run.
Yeah.
The long run. Nipsey called it the marathon.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, you guys. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be a sprint. Longevity. I want my business to last.
Right.
I want to be here for the Olympics. I want to be here for the future. I want to see all the changes in Inglewood. Inglewood is changing.
Yeah.
The gentrification, all the new businesses coming and going in Inglewood. I want to be here for the long run.
Yeah.
I want to embrace the change that's happening in Inglewood and be a part of it.
Amazing.
That's it.
That's amazing. So you want to be able to change with the times, but still just be able to have that foundation no matter what happens and still be there.
Putting on for our city.
I love that. Shout out to Inglewood. Okay, so my last question is, if you could leave any future entrepreneurs or viewers out there who have a dream, don't know where to start, with any piece of advice, what would you say?
Oh man, it's going to be my new t-shirt. We're getting ready to do a t-shirt this month and it's embrace failure.
Yeah.
You got to really embrace failure. You embrace that. As an entrepreneur, it's okay to fail. I'm okay with failing. Embrace failure. My mentor tells me that all the time, and you just really need to embrace failure. That's what I'm going to tell entrepreneurs, people out there starting your business. We all have to learn to embrace failure, and once you embrace it, it becomes part of life. It gets easy. It's okay to fail. You fail, you learn from it, and you get better.
And get back up.
Get better every day.
Get better, get back up. I love that. Okay, so tell everybody where's the best place to reach you and where to find you at.
Absolutely. The best place to find us, I'm at the storefront every day, 900 North La Brea, Inglewood, California. Our Instagram is Inglewoods LA. Inglewoods LA. The website is the same, www.inglewoodsla. If you guys ever go to SoFi Stadium, the Kia Forum, or Chargers or Rams game, please come by and take a picture on our Inglewood mural so you'll have a picture for a lifetime.
Yes, I love that, Steve. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and sharing all of your business tips to help viewers. I actually took a couple notes myself. I'm like, okay, he's actually dropping some gems. So thank you for sharing that and just continue to inspire and shout out to you for putting Inglewood on the map. I mean, it's amazing what you're doing. So
thank you so much, Deja. I just want to say we're so proud of you. You've came so far.
Oh my God.
I remember when I first met you, you were modeling and getting into hosting and things like that.
Thank you.
And now you've been doing your podcast for 2 years. So you just stick with it and you continue to grow.
Thank you so much, Steve.
So I'm growing with my business. I've seen you growing and we've been growing together.
Growing. Shout out to
Keep
growth.
growing.
Yes, I love that. Okay, so that wraps it up for Deja Breelove Presents. And I will see you guys next week with another inspirational topic and another inspirational episode. And don't forget, please like, subscribe, and comment, and let us know what you thought of this episode and if you thought it was inspiring, as well as what do you want to see more of, because we're trying to get those likes and those views up. So see you next time. Mwah.
Take care, everybody.